Just about to go for my morning run, but I wanted to make this video to break down exactly what I learned by speaking to over 10 different agencies and personal editors and content planners, because Alex Hormozi said at the School Games Mastermind that organic content plus paid ads is the most powerful combination for growing a business. Organic content with pure value, no call to action, and then ads, pure call to action. This split allows you to provide pure value and not make your organic audience feel like they're constantly being pitched, but it also allows you to scale ads better because you're building trust with organic audiences. So this is my biggest mistake because I've exclusively done paid ads for the last 4 years now, and I've only grown businesses with paid ads. This is much more difficult than growing an organic audience next to paid ads, and they actually help each other out because people will find the ad, then stumble upon your channel, and then become a subscriber. So I needed to do this, and I think everyone who's starting advertising or even starting a business for the first time needs good content. So I'm going to share with you the tips that I learned that's going to help you find a better agency or make the content yourself. So these are the 10 different things that I've found, and there's a bonus at the end. So the first thing is that most agencies are going to want to lock you in to like a contract, something that's maybe 3, 4, 5 months long. You don't want to do this, so just try to negotiate 1 month with them, and then that way you can test it out and get a good feel. Another way you can test it out is look at the content that they already make for other influencers, but they can only work with the content they're given. It really comes down to how good the influencer is, and so keep that in mind too. Editing can only do so much. The content needs to be good. So the second thing is most agencies prefer to work with, or the second point is working with an agency that tries to guarantee at least 1 million views on one video. There's a lot of agencies that have like different type of guarantees, but typically what I like is if I'm working with an agency, I want them to have a performance guarantee. So 1 million views on one video is a nice performance guarantee. It shows that they're confident in their work. Anytime someone tells you a guarantee on like a call, just ask them to clarify what that entails. Like, what does the guarantee include? If they don't reach that goal, do they continue working with you for free, or how does it work? Because sometimes these guarantees sound really good, but they're actually pretty bad. Until you actually figure out what all the details are of the guarantee, don't trust it. So that's a bonus tip. The third point is that ads become more effective when you have an organic audience growing. And so this is why we're getting into this. And Hamza, actually, who's got a massive organic audience, is going to get into advertising now. And that's one of the things Alex Hormozi recommended, because he's going to crush it because he already has that brand credibility with the organic content. But there's no like one right way to start. If you've been doing advertising or if you've been doing organic content, it doesn't matter which one you started first. Just make sure now you fill in that gap with the other one. So the fourth thing is telling stories in videos helps boost engagement significantly. People love stories. So take your information and shove it in a story, and your videos are just going to perform a lot better. So the fifth thing is that good editing is very expensive, but it's well worth it. Most agencies account half the cost to just editing. Now, editing is something that is a touchy topic for me because I feel a lot of videos nowadays are over edited. It's too much. And that's why you'll watch shorts for like 30 minutes. I mean, I don't do that, but some people watch shorts for like 30 minutes. They end up scrolling Instagram or TikTok, and then you're just exhausted after. Sorry, my cat is meowing here, but he wants attention. But they're tired after because it's information overload. These edits are becoming crazy, and like these super fast changes are happening on the screen and these flashes, and I don't like going that extreme. So what I like to do is ask the agencies to have a very engaging edit in the beginning, but then keep the editing subtle throughout the rest of the video, because I want the content to really be why they're watching. But you do want a very cool edit in the beginning to hook them in. So editing is very important, but put it in the right places. Sixth, content for education and entertainment require completely different strategies. This is something that Alex Hormozi actually said at the event as well. Content for entertainment is a completely different niche, and the actual style of video and the planning is going to be completely different. It's a different skill entirely. So make sure you work with an agency that specializes in info. Number 7, shorts, reels, TikTok, any sort of vertical video that you can swipe, they have much more viral potential. This is because the algorithm does not favor how many subscribers you have, but it favors the value of the content. And if it's getting a lot of views and good watch time, it'll show that video to more people. 8, obsess over the first 30 seconds if it's long form content, and obsess over the first 5 to 10 seconds if it's short form content. So this is where you can make cool edits and make it value packed. Give them a nice hook, something that's polarizing, something that maybe gives a promise that they're going to receive some value by watching this video. So that's really important, because if you don't hook them in within the first few seconds, they're not going to watch beyond that. And if you get really good engagement, like a lot of people land on your short and they're still watching it within the first 5 seconds, it tells the YouTube algorithm or the TikTok algorithm or Instagram that people like your video and your video is hooking people in. So that also helps the algorithm then promote it to more people. So number 9 is copy what worked for other creators with small audiences. If you copy what big creators do, like if you copy what, let's say Russell Brunson does, you're not going to have Russell Brunson's results because he's got such a big audience. And so I did just say that short form content is not really favored by the algorithm if you have a larger audience. It just comes down to purely the quality of the content. But if you have a lot of followers on Instagram, for example, people are going to stumble upon your reel just from your page, or they're going to see it in their feed because they're following you. So it does help. If you look at his views, most of them are probably followers, unless he's got a video that goes viral. With you, you need to be looking to copy someone who's got a similar audience size to you, or maybe a little bit bigger. Someone that normally doesn't get a lot of views. That way you can look at how much natural engagement is on their videos, and you know it's purely from the virality of it. All right, and then number 10 is your setup matters. So invest in a decent microphone. This is extreme. You don't really need a Blue Yeti. I would say just one of those little clip-on mics is all you need. They're like $14. You can get a really good Bluetooth mic. I think it's called the Lark M2. So that's the best Bluetooth mic from my experience right now. It's like a little button, but it's quite expensive. If you don't want to spend $200 on a microphone, you can get a $14 wired one, and that'll be good enough. And then get a camera. So this is a good one that you can use, but it doesn't have to be this one. But something cheap, but something with a good lens, something that's going to work as a really nice webcam. So I have a standard webcam right now, actually, and I don't like it compared to this camera, because this camera will have, the background is not going to be in focus. It'll be a little bit blurred, and it makes it look really professional. So you're going to want something like this. It doesn't have to be this specific camera, though. And that, yeah, I mean, that's really all you need for a good setup. Nice background, maybe. So what you might want to do is invest in those little soundproofing cubes that you can put all over your wall, and it makes it look like a podcast. Matthew's got a sick setup like that. So Matthew, the School Games podcast host. And that's just going to help your videos pop. So that's what I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend messing around with green screen or anything. Just keep it simple. Number 11. Agencies can script, and this is a bonus point, by the way. Agencies can script and edit content, but it doesn't promise it will go viral. Your energy and presentation skills play a big part in the views. I personally think, and this is just my opinion based off of like my specific content creators, I want them to do most of the scripting. I want the agency to take care of the hook and maybe a few points. That's because they know their audience the best. But if you're still pretty new to business, you might want the agency to do all the scripting. So it just depends on your preferences. But at the end of the day, they can only work with what they got, and you have to have really good presentation skills, really good energy, and you have to speak really clearly. That's going to play a big role in your success, because if you don't have high energy, people are just not going to watch. They're going to get bored. So keep that in mind. Presentation plays a big role. But yeah, those are my 11 tips on what I've learned from speaking with agencies, and I hope you found it helpful. And let me know in the comments below if I miss anything, or if you feel like you'd like to now work with an agency, or if you want to continue doing it all in-house.